Hello, so Cleo is 1 week old and she's just lying in my arms here, very contented and very chilled, and that's pretty much how she's been all week. She sleeps, she eats, and then she poos and wheezes, and she's up in the evenings with Mel where she's quite alert. But definitely the first couple of days after she was born, she was very sleepy, and it was actually quite difficult to wake her up every 3 hours to feed her, so I'd have to strip her naked, tickle her feet and try to stimulate her. But now she's definitely waking up of her own accord every kind of couple of hours wanting to feed. And she cluster fed on day 3, and I'm not sure on day 5, I'm not sure, I can't remember. In terms of how she looks, she's very much got her dad's colouring. She hasn't got my kind of olivey skin tone, and her hair colour is kind of dark ashy brown, but it's not as dark as mine. And to be honest with you, I always thought that the Asian gene was really dominant. It is in the other Asian children that I know, but with her, she kind of seems to have skipped the Asian gene because she just looks a lot like Mel. She does have my little nose, and she does have my lips because she's got a really pronounced Cupid's bow. And her eyes, she has the most gorgeous cobalt grey kind of eyes. They're not dark brown like mine.
Did you see that?
Look at them.
Blue, grey.
What happened to getting things from Mummy?
Oh, they're so blue. They're like the colour of my watch, like a steel grey.
I think they say that the eye colour can change, so there's lots of time for them to go brown, but they are lovely, the colour that they are. And she's just gorgeous, and my heart is completely bursting with love for her. I didn't really know what to expect, you know, a first time mother, you don't really know what kind of emotions you'll feel and have towards your baby. I knew that when I was pregnant I loved her, and then when, you know, she comes out, and when she was actually plopped on my belly after I gave birth to her, she had her legs wide open and she was like, "Look mummy, I'm a girl." And me and Mel were just like darting in there because we obviously didn't know it was a boy or girl, so we're delighted. We would have been happy either way. And the midwife came today and weighed her, and she said, wow, for a breastfed baby they normally lose weight, but she's actually put on weight, so I know that she is definitely my child because she's got a really good appetite. She's only really on the breast for like 10 minutes, so she's quite an efficient feeder, but I have got a lot of milk and it literally squirts all over her face and everything, so bless her, she's doing really well. Her skin has been really dry actually, and the hospital advised that we just put a little bit of sunflower oil and just rub it on her dry areas. Her feet and her hands and her tummy seem to be quite dry. Her umbilical cord actually fell off, I think on day 4 or 5. She was wriggling quite a lot when we were changing a nappy, and then the following day it just came off and it looks absolutely fine now. The midwife said, you know, it can be 7 to 14 days or even sooner. Mel has been absolutely wonderful. He was there through every contraction at birth, and it's actually amazing to see him holding Cleo and just spending time with her. I fall in love with him even more, and he just loves looking at her, talking to her. He's been playing the piano to her.
I'm playing her happy birthday for yesterday.
Like that.
And he's been so supportive, bringing me lots of drinks, food, doing all the laundry and hanging it up, and, you know, just keeping the kitchen under control. And he's also looking after our cats, one of whom is really, really poorly because he has pancreatitis, so he's being sick. So he's got his own cat baby to look after.
Hi Cleo. Meet Leo, your cat brother. He's very pleased to meet you. Aren't you, Leo? Yeah. Look. Cleo, Leo. Leo, Cleo.
And he's also been doing his fair share of nappy changes, so lots of man points to Mel. He's just been absolutely amazing. I actually love how much hair she's got. Oh, it's so cute and it's so soft, and she just smells absolutely divine. In terms of how I'm doing 1 week after giving birth, I would definitely say it's been a really tough week physically. I thought I was having milk fever, where your milk comes in and you get flu-like symptoms, you're sweating, you're shivering at night, and you get this headache. It went on for a third day, and Mel took my temperature and he said it's actually high, it's 38.9, and the paracetamol was only lasting for a couple of hours and the shivers and everything was coming back. So I phoned up the hospital. They said to go in. They ran some urine tests and some blood tests, and my left breast was actually really, really hard, very, very sore, and there was a big patch of pink on it. So when the gynae doctor, oh, are you having a yawn? What's the matter? Are you all right? Oh, sweetie, you okay? Okay. And when the gynae doctor examined me, he said, yeah, I can tell immediately you've got engorgement on your left breast and you've got mastitis. And when the blood test came back, my CPR, which I think is the white blood cell count, was high. So I also had an infection. I think it must have been the mastitis. So they said to put a warm compress on the boob and just massage and encourage the milk to come down and out. So I've been doing that. Actually, one of the NCT mums has given me one of these, and you stick it in the microwave for like 15 seconds and it warms up. Put it on the boob and then I massage the milk down. So yeah, that's been pretty painful for me because the breast feels really hot and really angry, and even just to lie on that side at night and sleep is just super uncomfortable. So I'm really looking forward to feeling better. And actually it's so sore at the moment, I can't let Cleo feed, so I've been expressing into the Nature Bond.
So I ordered this Nature Bond breast milk collector stroke manual breast pump from Amazon. It's about £15. I've just had Cleo on one boob and I attached this to my other, and it literally collected the drips that I would have lost in a breast pad. I think you can also just attach it to your breasts and manually massage and collect the milk. I've managed to collect about 25 mils. This is my second day of using it, but I'm really impressed with this because I was intending to buy the Medela electric swing pump because it's had rave reviews, but it is over £100. And I think if you have a good supply, then this might be a good alternative because it's so quick and so easy to use. And I know that they don't advise that you feed the baby with a bottle to avoid nipple confusion in the first 6 weeks. But I think it's going to be quite important for me to be able to get out. I mean, I've got hospital appointments coming up and I don't want to always have to take her with me. It'd be nice to leave her at home with Mel and him being able to feed with her and bond with her in that way. So I am going to stick this in a bottle. She took it fine yesterday and she took my boob, so it does very much depend on the baby. I think if we had left it till 6 weeks, I think then she would have just point blank refused the bottle and we would have made a rod for our back. So that I think maybe the earlier that you introduce kind of like mixed methods of feeding, I think maybe for us and our baby, it might work for us.
In terms of my nether regions, I do feel extremely sore. I think straight after labour I was like, wow, I feel amazing, and now I know why. It's because I was high on painkillers. I would definitely say this past week, certainly the latter part of the week, I've been feeling really sore. Like when I walk now, I walk really slowly, and then when I sit down as well, actually the only really comfortable place to sit is the bed. Anything hard like a chair or anything like that is really uncomfortable. So what I have got is a little donut ring just here, which I've been taking with me. I went to meet some friends for lunch and stuff like that, so I'll put that, and it just gives a little bit of relief to my nether regions. And also when I was in labour, they put in 2 catheters, so one before I had my epidural because I just couldn't go for a pee. It's such a weird feeling not being able to pass urine. And then obviously when I had my epidural, then they put in another catheter. And I've got to say, this week peeing has been really sore and it's kind of stung when it comes out. That hasn't been fun. And also when I have gone for a number 2, it has been incredibly painful. I feel like my insides are gonna fall out, and I've literally been grabbing on to the toilet roll holder and just like, oh my gosh. So what I've done is got some lactulose from Boots, and I'm gonna take some of that in the hope that it will help to soften the poo, because it is so painful. It's like a mini birth in itself, and no one told me about that. So yeah, this week, like I said, has been really tough physically. Obviously, it's all worth it because we have a healthy and beautiful baby Cleo with us, but it has been a real struggle. But I'm looking forward to next week and hoping things get better. I forgot to mention that when the midwife came on day 3, she looked at Cleo and said she looks a little bit yellow, a little bit jaundice. So we had to go to A&E. She had a heel prick test and she wasn't anywhere near the threshold for requiring treatment, so that was good.
Happy 6 days, beautiful. It's my first Mother's Day with my baby. Hello, sweetie. Hello. Good morning.
So that's the update for this week. Week 1, postpartum, post-labour, and week 1 of Cleo. But it has been a real struggle, but I'm looking forward to next week and hoping things get better. So that's the update for this week. Week 1, postpartum, post-labour, and week 1 of Cleo.